Once upon a time, nestled between whispering willows and a babbling brook, lived a young boy named Max. He had messy light brown hair that always seemed to stick up at odd angles and hazel eyes that sparkled with curiosity. A faded red hoodie was his most prized possession, though it had seen better days. But Max didn't mind. It was as comfortable as it was worn. Max's best friend was a bright orange fox. They were inseparable. They explored the nearby woods, raced through fields of clover, and shared secrets under the starlit sky. One evening, while poring over an old map, they stumbled upon a legend that spoke of an ancient crystal hidden somewhere in the whispering woods. This crystal, it was said, held the power of life itself, capable of healing the sick and rejuvenating the weary. Intrigued and hopeful, Max and his fox decided to embark on a journey to find it. Their adventure began with a soft rustle of leaves underfoot and the gentle patter of paws on soft earth. The forest welcomed them with open arms, its ancient trees creating a cathedral of green above them. Sunlight dripped through the leaves, dappling the ground in gold. Following the map's cryptic clues, they ventured deep into the woods, where the trees grew thicker and the paths less clear. After what felt like hours, the forest opened up into a clearing. And there in the center lay a lake, its surface shimmering like glass, reflecting the stars even under the morning sun. It was as if the forest itself was guiding them, leading them to this magical lake. At its edge, Max knelt, dipped the crystal into the water, and closed his eyes. Instantly, ripples of green light spread across the surface, healing his bruises and making his fox's fur shine with renewed strength. For the first time in days, hope warmed their tired hearts. They knew they were on the right path. Suddenly, strange floating spirits emerged from the lake, glowing like tiny stars. They hovered around Max and his fox as if guiding them, urging them forward. One drifted close to Max's face, its glow dancing in his hazel eyes. The fox sniffed curiously before nudging it playfully. The spirits responded by forming a trail of light, leading them deeper into the enchanted forest. Max, with the trusty fox padding softly beside him, followed the luminous path. The spirits danced around them, illuminating their way and keeping them safe. But their journey was far from easy. Soon they reached a treacherous area known as the Cliff of Trials. The cliff was a towering wall of stone, carved with ancient runes that hummed with power. To move forward, Max had to find a way to overcome this obstacle. With determination etched on his face, Max gripped the rocky edges of the cliff and began to climb. His muscles strained, his hands and legs aching, but he refused to give up. Meanwhile, his fox leaped gracefully from ledge to ledge, never once leaving his side. Sharp claws dug into the rock, finding purchase where there seemed to be none. Finally, Max reached the top, his heart pounding in his chest. Before him stood a single glowing rune, pulsing with energy. He placed his crystal against it and watched in awe as it responded, sending ripples of green light cascading down the cliff. The cliff seemed to rumble, as if ancient stones had acknowledged his worthiness. As a reward, a bridge of stone rose from the mist below, suspending over the cloud-filled expanse. Max and his fox stepped cautiously onto the sky bridge, marveling at the breathtaking view that unfolded before them. But their wonder soon turned to terror as the bridge began to crumble beneath their feet. Stones fell away into the misty abyss, crashing into the clouds below. Max ran, his heart pounding in his chest, the fox leaping ahead of him, always just within reach. At the very last second, they dove to safety as the bridge collapsed behind them, leaving them stranded on a small island in the clouds. But the collapse of the bridge was only the beginning of their troubles. In a moment of panic, Max and his fox found themselves in a foggy valley, disoriented and alone. Suddenly, a chilling cackle echoed through the valley. From the swirling mists emerged a boy cloaked in shadows. His eyes burned with an eerie green glow, and he held a corrupted red crystal that pulsed ominously in his hands. Red lightning crackled around him as he took a menacing step forward. Max instinctively took a defensive stance, fear gripping his heart. "You seek the power of the ancients," the shadowed boy sneered, his voice echoing with malice. "And so does he who sent me." With those chilling words, the boy raised his red crystal and unleashed a blast of dark energy. The valley trembled as Max and his fox braced for impact. But in a flash, a great horned owl with glowing golden feathers swept down from the sky, intercepting the attack. The owl let out a powerful screech, momentarily driving away the shadowy boy. Seizing the chance, Max and his fox pressed on, running deeper into the valley. Through the owl's wisdom, Max learned that the boy in red was influenced by a corrupted crystal, twisting his intentions and clouding his mind. The owl guided them, revealing glimpses of the final temple where the corrupted crystal resided. But the path was perilous, and the closer they got to the temple, the more the Shadow Boy's presence loomed over them. Following the owl's directions, Max and his fox ventured across a frozen wasteland. Winds howled like grieving wolves and snow stung their faces with icy crystals. Max pulled his hoodie tighter, his sneakers slipping on the ice, while his fox trudged through the frost, its fur covered in white. Just when hope seemed lost, the ancient ice temple rose from the blizzard. Its towering spires gleamed like glass against the gray sky. Relief washed over Max as he realized they had found the place the owl had shown him in visions. Inside, silence reigned, broken only by their footsteps echoing across icy floors. Frozen statues of stern-faced guardians lined the walls, their eyes cold and empty. As Max and his fox ventured deeper into the temple, the air grew colder, sending shivers down their spines. Suddenly, one of the statues came alive, a massive beast of ice and rage. Fear tightened its grip on Max, but he stood his ground. His fox leaped without hesitation, striking at the beast with sharp claws and teeth. Together, they fought for their lives and for the balance of nature itself. With the crystal glowing brightly, Max charged forward. Using every ounce of strength he possessed, he dodged the beast's icy attacks and struck at its frozen heart. The battle raged, shaking the very foundations of the temple. But in the end, Max prevailed. The beast shattered into snowflakes, dissolving into the air. Panting and bruised, Max and his fox huddled together, basking in the hard-won victory. A glowing doorway opened before them, inviting them onward. In the final chamber, ancient runes covered the walls, glowing faintly, as if watching their every move. In the center rested a pedestal, bathed in ethereal light. Max stepped forward, his fox by his side. But before he could place the crystal, the rival burst in. His eyes blazed with red power and the corrupted crystal throbbed ominously in his grasp. Crystals clashed. The chamber shook as the rival pushed his attack, each strike echoing with the promise of untold power. Max gritted his teeth, his fox barking furiously as the battle intensified. Yet in the midst of the chaos, Max saw something. Through the haze of battle, he saw not only the anger in the rival's eyes, but also a deep sadness, a longing for something pure. In that instant, he remembered why he had embarked on this journey. It wasn't just about restoring the crystal's power. It was about saving his friend and bringing light back into his life. With a surge of determination, Max broke free from the red crystal's grasp. Leaping over fallen stones, he approached his rival, extending a hand. The boy looked up, surprise flickering across his face. "It doesn't have to be like this," Max said, his voice ringing with sincerity. "We can help each other." The rival hesitated, his gaze flickering between Max and the glowing pedestal. Slowly, as if in a dream, he lowered his head, allowing the red crystal to fall from his grasp. As the crystal touched the pedestal, a wave of light erupted, washing away the shadows that had clung to the boy. He collapsed to his knees, freed from the darkness, his eyes shining with unshed tears. Dawn broke over the whispering woods, painting the sky with hues of gold and rose. Max and his fox stood at the peak of a mountain, overlooking a world reborn. The crystal was gone, its power returned to the earth, and peace had been restored. Max smiled, wind brushing through his messy brown hair. The fox sat proudly at his side, tail swishing gently. Their journey was over, but their bond, forged in trials and strengthened by friendship, would last forever.